Hey gang, it's me, Tim the MegaRetroGeek, coming right at you. It's been a long time since I'm back on YouTube, but here I am, back in the flesh. You're probably wondering where the hell have I been, but let's start off the evening with a lovely, if I get it up right, some magical tunes. We need a lot of goodies. But the first and foremost is basically this is my new show. We call it the Retro Recap. It's the first time I actually debuted it on actual YouTube. So, without further ado, we need to actually talk about one important thing of the night. And let me turn on some volume into this remix and all that. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, do 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 do. Ooh, do 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 do. Do 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 do. 3, 2, 1. So, the biggest announcement this week was a huge uproar. I don't know if it was last week or this week. It's been about 2 weeks since I've actually done one of these videos, and it'll even many more years than on YouTube itself. But the thing is, Streets of Rage 4 was announced, and the huge uproar was just beautiful. We couldn't believe it. We just didn't want to, confirm that this was actually happening. So the same crew that did actually Monster Boy and also the what's it called, Dragon's Lair, whatever it's called. I keep getting them mixed up all the time, so correct me if I'm wrong on this one. But the same Emu and also Lizard Cube are actually behind this project, so we're actually going to have a little bit more oomph to it too. But Streets of Rage, if you don't know what it is, now you know. Streets of Rage is actually one of the first brawlers, and that's actually just beat 'em ups, whatever you want to call them. There's a proper name, or just call them brawlers. That was actually delivered to a home console first before it was an arcade game, which was a first and one of the only. That's why Streets of Rage is always a very unique series by a long shot, I will say. Other things was to talk about exactly stuff we have found over the week too, and actually this past 2 weeks of goodies. So hopefully some really good stuff. The first thing I want to talk about is we actually found an actual DVD copy not too long ago of the 1990 The Witches with Angelica Houston. This is a beloved actually series, not really a series, just one of a kind. It was one of Jim Henson's last projects before he passed away. That year in 1990 he was working on 2 projects. One on the UK just to produce it, and the one he was working on the hardest was the one in America, which was Teenage Mutant Turtles the movie. And of course, The Witch starring Angelica Houston before she was known to the world as Morticia Addams in the awesome Addams Family movies from 1992 and 1993. So this is a really cool movie, and the special effects are like, they don't hold back at all. So I do have to recommend that one by a long shot. Furthermore, we also have, let's see, what other movie? Oh yeah. Wouldn't be the same unless we have Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Finally found the original, copy that actually has the artwork cover. Because every single re-release of this movie always has some weird, bizarre art that I'm not too crazy about. This is the one that's more closer to the actual VHS copy. So I was more happy to find that one. Let's see, game-wise, we finally got a copy, a beautiful one, of Gun on the original Xbox. So pretty much everybody's going gaga for Red Dead Redemption 2. But back in the day, there was 2 games. There was Red Dead Revolver, and then Activision had Gun. This is actually a really damn good game. And I do admit, for the old Western kind of theme, that was a huge trend back then. I'm grateful that it's coming back in full-fledged. Let's see, what else we got? Oh yeah, finally, I've been down to get a copy of my own, The Suffering. This is actually the Xbox version. I gotta get a better case for it, but yeah, this is a great underrated series. The one thing I will say about this one, it's like a clash between, like, if Silent Hill and Evil Dead had a kid together, this would be the demonic entry, because it's wacky, because you know what the hell to expect and what's going to come at you. And honestly, it did spawn off a sequel, which I do have, which is the Suffering, The Tides That Bind. So you can find out what happened to your poor inmate guy who got pretty much his life turned upside down. And he's not from West Philadelphia, that's for sure. So, another little beautiful copy I was really happy to find was Midway presents Arcade's Greatest Hits, the Atari Collection Volume 1 on the PlayStation 1. Now, this is a nice, beautiful little gem. It actually includes Asteroids, Centipede, Missile Command, Super Breakout, Tempest, and Battle Zone. These games are very beautiful ports, I will admit, and I just had to have it. But honestly, the one actually was part 2. There was a volume 2 that not many people knew about, but here it is. The Atari Collection Volume 2. The biggest reason why this one's kind of like a rare bird is the fact that it actually includes Paperboy, Gauntlet, Marble Madness, Millipede, Road Blasters, which is just astounding, and Crystal Castles. So yeah, these little babies are really, really cool. So I was so happy to find a beautiful copy of this one, and it's finally in my possession after all these years. I always wanted this, especially because I was kind of heartbroken. I was waiting for it to become released on the Sega Saturn, but it never happened, as far as I know. But if it has, please tell me. Also, another big shocker was finally Capcom acknowledges the return of Onimusha. Onimusha is a really badass series. From the same creators of Resident Evil came Onimusha. There was actually 4 games in the series and a spin-off fighting game series too. And also there was an Onimusha on the Game Boy Advance. So it was more like Final Fantasy Tactics. It was really badass. But this is Gem Onimusha, the harder version, which was released on the original Xbox only. But really badass game, and I know whole bar. So January 19th, this game is being finally re-released in over God knows how many years on the PS4, the Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and even the PC. So can't wait to have Onimusha come back. I just hope part 2 and 3 and 4 are all going to be like nicely ushered in, so they can introduce it to a whole new generation. Also, we got some lovely NES games. Got some good and some bad, so it's kind of funny. So, of course, the bad. Let's go with the bad. We got Back to the Future 2 and 3 on the original Nintendo. This game is just an atrocity, and it's hilariously bad to play because your whole mission is to stop Biff Tanner from getting the almanac, the sports almanac from 1950 to 2000, right? So you go on this huge escalade of hell just trying to stop this freaking thing. One thing on breaks my heart, not even the original soundtrack, and not even Huey Lewis and the News, nothing's in this game. You just hear this god-awful soundtrack, but you get the theme of it just beautifully because it takes place in part 2 and part 3, so you're going back and kind of like you go straight through the whole game. Also, another beloved classic is Casino Kid Poker. It's actually a really cool little game, very awesome. There's actually a part 2 that's kind of rare, I've heard, but this is the part 1, so I'm actually very happy to have this one in my collection. It's pretty much play as this young kid trying to make some money and try to get on with it and stuff like that, so it's not too bad. Secondly, we got a beautiful classic, Adventure Island 2. This is a badass game. Hudson Soft made some really incredible NES titles, and this one holds no bars by far. So I gotta say, this is like a really hidden gem right there. But honestly, there was actually 4 in the series. It was part 1, part 2, part 3, part. Sure, it's a ripoff of Wonder Boy. We all know that. But the thing is, by itself, the game actually kind of transformed to its own thing, and also made some beautiful spin-offs on the Super Nintendo, Super Adventure Island 1 and 2. Really, I do recommend these games. I mean, sure, the first one looked just like a direct clone of Wonder Boy, but part 2 really took it to a whole new level, where they really changed Master Hudson himself, the little hero of the game. I remember when we first played this game as a kid, the first thing we always thought was he looked like a naked Luigi, because like he was wearing green. We didn't know any better. This is in the 80s, man. It was like, so games are a legendary classic. And biggest surprise today, I forgot I got a Nintendo Switch finally, and I'm loving the tar of it. But I was really ticked off at the fact that Rocket League got re-released again under the name Collector's, or actually, no, I'm sorry, not Collector's, Ultimate Edition. It comes in this really kick-ass shiny case too, man. So yeah, it's actually on PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Now, what's the big difference? It has all the freaking DLC in one big giant package. And for Nintendo Switch fans, here's something you're gonna love. When you open up the bad boy, look, no DLC code. All the information is on that little cartridge. That's the way it should be. Every other game programmer should take note. DLC sucks. Leave that crap on the cart, because let me tell you, when it comes to those little micro SD cards, it sucks up a lot of space quickly. So yeah, this was really cool, and I was very happy. So it actually includes the Supersonic Fury cars, the Revenge of the Battle cars, Rocket League Chaos Run, the Superman Batman cars pack, and the DC Superheroes DLC pack as well. So you get 5 DLC packs, the main game, the whole shebang, all the cards that you need, and it's really kick-ass. So, and plus that case also has kind of like a bumpy kind of vibe to it, so it's really badass. Ultimate Edition just came out on the 28th, so yeah, it's really sweet. Also, this is really cool. Found this from a random yard sale. It actually is a Sonic comic book from the 2014 free comic book day. But if you reverse it, you get a beautiful Mega Man X comic too. Very nice. So yeah, it was like a 2-for-1 deal from the 2014. Not bad from 4 years ago. So that is pretty much the only thing I have to say on topic. Also, as well aside, is I heard that the Spyro trilogy was pushed back to November 13th. That was kind of a heartbreaker, I will have to say, but you can't really do much with that one, because I mean, the biggest complaint was the fact that Spyro the Dragon 2 and 3 on the collection, thank you so much, thank you, I have to say is I think it's that once you put something on a disc, it's supposed to remain on there. Well, the original programmers who wanted to release the Spyro trilogy, Activision, they wanted to put 2 and 3 as DLC. The fans didn't like that. Now, we all know that PS4 and Xbox One discs have enough space to put all 3 of those little games on there. No problem, they can split. So, the programmers went back to the drawing board and decided to actually cram it back in there. So that's why there's a slight delay. Now, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if the Nintendo Switch version will do it, but I hope not either, because if the Crash Bandicoot trilogy can do it on one cartridge, and I'm pretty sure I have faith that Spyro's going to do it too. And this is a big project we're talking about, a huge moneymaker. I don't know why in the heck they kind of half-assed it, especially how long we've been waiting, like a full year after Spyro the Dragon was announced. But anyway, I am Tim the MegaRetroGeek, and I want you to do me one little favor, one favor only. I want you to stay retro, my friends, and it's great to be back on YouTube.